Welcome to Football Fridays. This is our podcast that's going to be out every Friday. My name's Aaron. His name's Declan. We're going to be talking about the football throughout the week, sort of looking back, looking forward, and maybe we'll have a few topics here and there. Let us know what you think. Put your what you want us to talk about in the comments. We'll have an Instagram at some point, a Twitter at some point, a TikTok at some point. We'll be all over the social media at some point. But without further ado, let's just get into it. Right. So let's talk about the weekend.
Sweet.
We saw the FA Cup in action.
Mm-hmm.
First game was on Friday night.
Yep.
And it was Chorley versus Wolves.
Yeah.
We know who was going to come out on top. Wolves were going to come out on top, weren't they? So really.
Closer.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. It's like I know the FA Cup's different, but do we see there isn't much of a gap at the moment, is there? Because especially with the season going on with the way it is.
No, not at all. You see in League One, League Two, even lower Championship teams really doing well. I'm looking at the stats now. What am I on about? The fixtures now, and going into the fifth round, there's not many Premier League teams.
Oh no, because in the third round, Crawley knocked out Crew. Wow, Crawley knocked out. That wasn't even the right team, not even the right area. Crawley knocked out Leeds 3-0.
Yeah.
Well, again,
yeah,
Leeds.
That's mad.
Yeah, but Leeds haven't been the best at times.
No, I think. Well, that's another discussion. But I think people expected Leeds to do way better than they have done.
Yeah.
They're like 12th or 13th or something, but
yeah. But we'll get on to that later on.
That's another day.
But the one I do want to talk about is Cheltenham, because even though they lost 3-1, just there, they held them, for 50 odd minutes.
Yeah.
And then even scored first.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't see that game, but just looking at
I watched the majority of it, and like I said, Cheltenham they weren't dominating because it's City at the end of the day. But they had they gave them a good account. They played well, defended in a good shape as well. They were very disciplined, but obviously City come out on top all the time. The dominator.
Yeah, but you would have expected that to be more than just 3-1. Just looking at it before the thing, you would have said City fans would have been expecting at least 5-0.
Yeah, 100%.
But then you see other games like West Ham Doncaster where that was a smashing.
Oh, I know.
I know Tottenham Wickham as well was 4-1, and I know they only scored within the last sort of 10 minutes, the last sort of 3 goals. But yeah, I feel like the Premier League teams feel like they don't have to try as much, hence why they don't score as many.
Yeah. But then again, see the question, the one that always gets me about the FA Cup is obviously now we don't have any replays, but the one that got me with the Premier League teams was they were almost using it as an excuse, because obviously if they drew, like for example, if Cheltenham drew against City, let's say last season, they would have had to play another game, and then they would. And if I'm not saying Pep does this, but some of the managers. You say, we shouldn't be playing these games because it's a cup. It's a fixture congestion.
Klopp does it.
Oh yeah. And the one thing that gets me all the time, because obviously supporting lower league, is the only way to get around that is to field a better side to actually win the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you don't, if you underestimate the lower leagues, you're going to get punished for it. As found out by Leeds.
They expect, I feel like Premier League teams feel like just because they're in the lower league, they automatically are worse quality. It doesn't work like that. If you don't turn up on the day and you're fielding 3, 4, 5, 6 players that don't often play, that's just going to mess your whole thing up. And they're probably playing with their strongest 11 that play week in, week out. So they need to take it more seriously.
Well, yeah, because it was, I know in the end, Tottenham came out on top against Marine, but the Marine were playing pretty well.
Yeah, they weren't terrible.
and they nearly went ahead with that great strike. Unluckily at the bar.
You see that celebration that Virginia did when he smashed it in from half a yard out. Did the Mbappe celebration?
Yeah, Jesus.
So what are you doing, you fuck?
And then obviously the tie of the round over the weekend was United Liverpool.
Hey, United. I can't really say much about this weekend, but for last week it was alright.
Yeah, it was. The game was a bit. It was okay. Obviously United. It was 3-2. So it was a little bit. It had a bit of excitement, but it was still a bit. It still seemed like they were both holding something back, especially Liverpool.
Because you have to, but you have to when you're playing teams like. Well, Liverpool just ain't the team they were, but Man United. I don't know. Well, going on to what we're about to talk about in the Prem games, but yeah, they never look fully confident. But I don't think that comes from the team. I think that comes from individual players. But then Liverpool, I mean, they're missing a key core to their side in Van Dijk, obviously, and that just throws all stuff off. That just throws everything off for them. So if they can't push up. They can't push up because of Van Dijk, so they have to sit deeper, and that doesn't allow the midfield to go to the attack and the attack do more up front.
I can't remember who said it. It was someone on. It was whoever was on commentary for BBC. They said it as well. It was Jordan Henderson. They were lacking Jordan Henderson because I think it was. Was it Rashford down the left? Greenwood on the right.
Probably was.
Yeah. So it was whoever played. Williams, that was it. Was it Williams? Reece Williams? Yeah, I think it was Reece Williams. He was having problems with Rashford.
Yeah.
And they said that Henderson, they're missing Henderson in that in that sort of sweeping up role, so he can help out going back and going forward.
Mm.
And I agree because it just seemed I don't know. For me it just seemed a bit. Liverpool, obviously, like you said, Liverpool aren't nowhere near the team they were last season. It's just something's not quite clicking. I don't know what it is. Like you said, it could just be injuries.
I think that is the problem. They don't have the depth. When you take out Van Dijk, Fabinho when he was out, Matip, all them players, you replace them with a lanky kid that the only reason he gets in the team is because he looks a little bit like Van Dijk. And then who else is there? I don't even know. And then when they take off Salah, they bring on Shaqiri. When they take off Firmino, they bring on Origi. When they take off Mane, they bring on Minamino. They're not comparable. You're taking off a world-class player for an average side. It doesn't work. It's hard to keep challenging for the title and winning games all the time when your front three are needed to play. When they don't play, you don't score goals. And then when they're injured or whatever, you've got Origi, Minamino, Reece Williams, all them players to come on. It doesn't work. They're not good enough. That Reece Williams, I looked at him during the game and I thought he was awful. He's so uncoordinated. He did. Slow.
He made quite a few mistakes, especially with a couple leading to goals really as well.
Well, the second one for Rashford, yeah.
It was just a bit. But obviously United did well, and then, the one I know what you're going to say. Do you think it was a free kick?
Yeah,
because everyone was it Righty or was it was either Righty or Shearer. They were saying it weren't a free kick.
Well, it was. He touched him. He went down. What do you mean it weren't a free kick? Of course, it was a free kick.
Because when you see it is the way they were saying it was that Cavani was
Liverpool
already going down.
The team to start accusing diving. With Mane and Salah in that bloody team, you can't accuse Cavani of going down when there's contact.
True.
Mane and Salah go down when they're 10 yards away from someone, they fall over. So you can't accuse Cavani of doing it when Cavani tries to stay on his feet and, actively is a bit more aggressive.
And then obviously Tottenham beat Wickham 4-1. Does that
who cares about that?
But surely that puts them in good stand for the trophy, the FA Cup. Because at the moment, obviously you've got some. Thing is, the Premier League teams that are through there are some good sides. Like you got Chelsea, Leicester, United, Everton, Tottenham, Wolves. West Ham are on form at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, wait, how many ones?
And City as well. Don't forget that. Don't forget them. So it's like,
like I said, there wasn't many Premier League sides that went through. There's nothing but Premier League sides.
But still, even they were at the moment for me. I would say that it's either Tottenham or City. I think is favourites at the moment. I'd throw in I'd throw in a Leicester maybe.
That was my shot. I think possibly Leicester, City, Leicester, Tottenham in the final, and I think Leicester will come out on top because I think they'll just go. There's nothing to lose.
Well, yeah, not only that, they've got. Thing is, with Leicester as well, it's a very balanced squad. Because apart from like you said with Liverpool before, it's like you're bringing off world-class players, bringing on average players, whereas Leicester's are just because they've had not only that, there isn't that many players that are new there, so obviously everyone knows what to do, what's going on. Everyone's drilled to it.
And the difference with the Liverpool is that they have the world-class players and they're bringing on average. The majority of the Leicester players are average. So they don't mess up the rhythm. That doesn't mess up the rhythm.
And then because they're all average and because they all know each other and they play well with each other, it takes up the team overall.
Yeah, exactly. There's a couple of players in there that aren't amazing, but the difference is when they get injured. Say Ndidi, if when he got injured, they brought in that Mendy. He's an okay replacement, but then if they did that with. Like at the start of the season, Liverpool, I think, were playing that Grujic.
Oh, yeah. Marco Grujic or something like that.
Yeah, from Fabinho to him is such a big difference between Ndidi and Mendy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Leicester have the depth, and even when they necessarily don't, the players that can fill into them aren't such a mile away from what they play usually.
Yeah. And then because they play and train every week, they get used to everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you could easily, because it's like under at the moment. Coming from Roma, is it?
Yeah.
You've tipped to be quite a good young Turkish player, and he's struggling to get inside. He's been brought on as subs, and he is starting every now and again. But if you think about it, he's not actually playing that much.
No, he's playing a lot of cup games.
Yeah,
but I mean, he looks good when he plays, but. Yeah,
for me, I think he'd be more for one for the future.
How old is he? Like 22?
I think he's about 22.
I remember United were in for him before he went to Leicester.
Because I think he's around 21, 22, maybe even 20.
Who have they got in that position? All Brighton.
Perez.
Where the hell is he? I haven't seen him in ages.
Harvey Barnes, maybe.
He's on the left, though, isn't he?
Well, it depends because it can change. Because obviously, if they just decide to switch sides,
True.
Just to throw them off. But to be honest with you, anybody can play there if they play left. They play on the left side.
The thing with Leicester is that because they have. Not history, but like Mahrez, Albrighton, they did nothing before they went to Leicester. You look at Albrighton, he was average at Villa. Look at Mahrez, no one even heard of him before he came. They have such a good reputation for bringing through, him as well. And even Vardy, no one knew who he was. They have such a good history of bringing through players that no one's ever known, no one's ever heard of, and making them good, solid players. So you could pick a handful, more than a handful, loads of different players that you'd say, oh, they're not very good or they're average, and put them in that Leicester team. Look at Danny Drinkwater. The year they won the league, he looked amazing. Chelsea signed him, and now he's at like Kayserispor or something.
Well, yeah,
because
that's only big. He's only there because the thing is with Chelsea, they just saw him and thought, oh, he's incredible. He was really good, so we'll get him.
the system.
They got him. He hasn't played. I don't think he's played a single game for Chelsea.
You'd see him against the under-18s or whatever it was.
It was under 23s. I think was it Arsenal?
I think Tottenham.
Yeah. Was either Arsenal or Tottenham was under Tottenham? Yeah, that was it because they were talking about it on again the rain game.
Kicked out of one
Peter
of
Cech
them.
was in
Squared
there.
up.
Yeah, Peter Cech was in there. They had two players sent off. Danny Drinkwater got in a fight. Oh, it was And I think that just sums up kind of his career post Leicester. To be honest with you, because even on the loans, he's not been that great on the loans. Because Burnley? Was it Burnley last season?
I think so.
Was that Burnley or Villa last season?
Oh, it might have been Villa.
Let me have a look.
No, I think Villa was this season.
I'll have a
I think
look
Burnley
for you.
was last, and Villa that was this. Yeah, Jesus, I forgot he played for Villa. Jesus, where'd I put my drink?
So, I tell a lie. He's played 30 games for Chelsea, and that was.
He's been there for what, like 3 years?
Yeah, 2017. So
he was 10 games a season. Jesus.
So it was Burnley. So from 2017 to 2019, he was at Chelsea and he played 30 games, scored 1 goal.
Right.
Then he went to Burnley on loan in August 2019 till January 2020.
Yeah.
Then he was at Villa from January 2020 to July 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's been back at Chelsea. Obviously now he's on loan at Kasimpasar.
Yeah, that one.
In Turkey. Who are a Super League. They're a Super League side, it's a top division in Turkey, sort of mid-table.
Do you know what I saw the other day? I swear that Aaron Lennon, he's on loan in Turkey as well.
It wouldn't surprise me. There's loads of because it's even though it's top division, it's still it's still not quite Premier League, obviously.
No, I'm just having a look. Yeah, wait, what was that team?
It's not the same one.
Oh, Lennon's at Kayserispor.
Yeah, whereas things at Kasimpasar.
Lennon's played 11 games this season. It's only 33, Aaron Lennon. Jesus.
The team Lennon's at's only just above the relegation zone. But that's like I said. Like there was, Sturridge was at Trabzonspor, weren't he?
Yeah.
Before he got his contract terminated, or he terminated his contract.
Where's he now?
Free agent at the moment.
Jeez,
he was that season when he was at Liverpool. Sturridge and Suarez.
Sturridge, Suarez, and Sterling. That was a mad one. That just shows how much Suarez was carrying them. Sterling did well as well, but you can see Sturridge. Like Suarez has only really gone like that. Well, sort of. I mean, he's still playing for Atleti, but then Sturridge, fucking Jesus.
Yeah, it was a bit. It was just a bit. The thing is with Sturridge, was when he was at Chelsea, he was doing okay.
Yeah, he did well.
He did okay. Then he went to Bolton, and he did incredible at Bolton.
Yeah,
he did wonders for Bolton, and then came back to Chelsea, and then never really picked himself up again.
No.
And then obviously went to Liverpool, bossed it with Suarez and Sterling, and then that was it. Then
I think he went West Brom for like 2 games, and then got an injury. I remember watching the game. He was playing for West Brom, and then first game, within about 10 minutes of him coming on, got an injury straight away, and that didn't play the rest of the time.
See, that's one of that kind of history is kind of what has plagued some of the English players. Wilshere, for example. Wilshere, and people always say this, but if he hadn't have had as many injuries as he has, he could have been who knows what he could have been? He could have been, you know.
Yeah, you can say that about anyone.
True.
You're only saying that because you're assuming. He might not have been injured and just still might have been average.
You say, yeah, but then again,
I know what you mean. That like if he hadn't have had to like recover and he would have spent every game playing, he would have just started to improve and improve and improve. But there ain't no guarantee that. If you look at someone who look at players that don't ever get injured and their career just does that.
Yeah.
I can't think of an example, but I'm sure there's, not everyone's career just goes up and up and up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those because obviously, like, I don't think we've had an English Ballon d'Or winner since Owen.
Yeah, what was that? 01, 2?
Yeah, I think so. When he was at Real Madrid, that was an odd.
But no.
Was it not?
I swear he was at Liverpool still. It might have been 99. Let me have a look.
Yeah. See, I thought it was. I thought he got it just as literally. I don't know whether he was going to.
He got it in 2001.
Right.
No, he was still at Liverpool.
Oh, right, okay.
Damn. He beat Raul and Oliver Kahn that year.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he's
People on that list, Michael Owen. Think about the legacies these people have had, and he won. So Michael Owen, Raul, Oliver Kahn, David Beckham, Totti, Figo, Rivaldo, Shevchenko, Zidane, and Henry. And he beat them all to that. He got 176 points. Raul got 140.
Jesus.
Fuck it now. To be fair, he was 19 at the time?
Yeah, don't get me wrong, he was a good player, but
yeah,
out of all the players in that list, I can think of a few.
Yeah, I know.
But it is what it is. Moving on to the Premier League games now.
Come on then.
It's not been the best.
So we're going from match day. Are we going from match day 18?
I think it's match. Is it match day 18? The one during the week.
Tuesday the 19th. No.
Yeah.
Okay. That's like a week and a half ago.
No. 26th. So yesterday.
That's like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Midweek yesterday.
Yeah, midweek.
All right.
Sorry.
Yeah. Come on.
So obviously, we'll start on Tuesday.
A couple of shock results. They're like Arsenal beating Southampton.
Yeah, that's probably that's the most shocking result, considering they beat
Burnley Villa.
Well, considering they beat them in the FA Cup on the weekend.
I know. Yeah, but
and then you got.
It's not really much to speak of, to be honest.
Well,
there's a couple of games. Go on, sorry.
Yeah, West Ham beating Crystal Palace 3-2.
Yeah, they're crazy form. They're fourth now, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's mad.
But thing is though, when it clicks, isn't it?
Yeah, but I just think of West Ham being like a mid to lower table team, and then suddenly they're fourth. It's like what? I didn't even see them climbing.
Well, they have been. It wouldn't surprise me if they end up getting to the scraps as the Europa League places.
Probably. I won't be surprised. They're doing well. Whatever David Moyes is doing, finally, is working.
There's been reports that they're looking to get Huang Hee-chan from Leipzig. The
only reason I know him is because of FIFA.
Yeah, he was at Red Bull Salzburg when Haaland was there.
He was in the lay off the strikers. I swear, every transfer window they try and buy a striker.
Yeah, because they don't really have. That's because they don't really have an out and out striker. Antonio's probably, but Antonio's probably but then Antonio is probably the only striker, and he's touch and go sometimes with his injuries.
But you can play if they played. I don't know what formation they played, but if they played a false nine, you've got loads of options. They've got Pablo Fornals, they've got Lanzini. I'm sure there's a couple of others.
They're playing. They could
probably even play
that. On Tuesday, they played a 4-2-3-1 with Antonio up front.
Who's that other striker?
Uh,
They don't even need a striker. Look at Thomas Suchek on the weekend. They don't even need a striker. He's ridiculous.
I know, for 25 million.
From Sparta Prague? Slavia Prague?
One of them two.
I think it's Slavia.
So they've only got attackers wise, not even strikers. You got Yarmolenko, Antonio, Ben Rama, and Bowen.
No. Yeah, so one striker in their squad. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So why would that?
You like you said, you could make a false nine, but I don't think that's just not how Moyes will play.
No, I know that, but
if
Antonio was injured for like 2 or 3 weeks, they wouldn't have an option. Who would they put up front?
To be honest, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they put someone like Ben Rama up front, and then played Lanzini behind him, and then it would just sort of become almost like a changeover, like a free for all.
I don't think Hwang Hee-chan would work at all.
I think he'd be all right.
But they need to stick with something they've got. They're so quick. They had Chicharito, they had Haller, they're looking at Hwang Hee-chan. All three of them are so different. They don't stick to one person.
The thing is, they're also looking at it from the marketing perspective. He's South Korean. He helps them break into the Asian market.
But who cares? Surely you want. I know with owners it's all about
David Gold and Sullivan do.
Yeah, but I know. But if you finish higher, you'll get more money. Don't just buy people based off their nationality and how many finances they can bring you in the next 3 months. Think about how much you can get if you finish top 6 at the end of the year. You'll get loads.
You will, but then they're outweighing it because that's only one season cost, whereas they're outweighing it saying, we could probably get 2-3 seasons worth out of him.
I don't get it.
At the end of the day, if it happens, that will genuinely be the reason why.
Well, yeah, I know that. But I don't think it's the right.
I think he's. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a good player.
Well, we're just talking about Sturridge.
Yeah.
Why would you not get a backup player that I know he hasn't done it in the Prem for a while, but he's done it in the Prem. He knows what it's like, and then he's probably more similar to Antonio than a lot of players. He has the pace,
but then again,
physical.
But then again, do you get a backup for Antonio that plays different so that you can switch it up?
Why switch it up? Because it's working.
Because if it don't work at some point,
well, then you can play different formations. Like you said you could play Ben Rama up front, or as a centre forward, you could play Fornals, you could play Lanzini, Well,
yeah, because Lanzini's got a good shot on him, as we saw against Tottenham.
Yeah, I like he basing it off one shot. He's got a good shot on him. That one shot he's had.
Yeah, one great shot. It was a good shot though.
Yeah, I mean it was mad.
But
I'm just looking up striker free agents.
Yeah, because there is some good. Is Mandzukic still around, or has he gone to Milan?
He went to Milan. He's at Milan now. Diego Costa.
He could, yeah. I could see him going because he knows the Prem, and as bad as he's a good aggressive player, but sometimes you need that aggressive.
You could make a mad team out of this. Listen to some of these players: Alex Teixeira, Diego Costa, El Shaarawy, Musa, Daniel Sturridge, Pato, Ramirez, Boney, Hulk, Garay, Nathaniel Mendes-Lang. He used to play for Posh.
He used to play for Rochdale too.
I remember. Yaya Sanogo. You could make you could.
Yeah.
Subotic. They could get Subotic is only 32.
Flipping heck.
I thought he was about 40.
But then again,
yeah, he's only 32.
At the moment, Fabianski's doing all right. Who's their backup? Is it Darren Randolph, their backup keeper?
No, not Subotic. Subotic.
Oh, right. I thought you said Subasic.
The one that used to play for Borussia Dortmund, the centre back with the long black hair.
Yeah. I thought, I know you're talking about now.
But there's loads. Mbula that used to play for Stoke. There's a lot of players. Adrian that used to play for Leeds. I mean, if you're West Ham, I think Hulk. I know Hulk would probably come with a massive transfer, massive wage, but Hulk would be amazing. I think Subotic would be a good backup. You're looking at Wilfred Boney, Ramirez, Sturridge, Diego Costa. If they got Diego Costa, Subotic, and maybe Hulk, they're 3 quality players.
Yeah, and if you get Hulk, Brazilian, brings in the Brazilian market, which is a massive football market.
Yeah, it's huge.
You've got Diego Costa. I know they've got quite a few Spanish people.
Yeah,
but he knows the Prem. You know, and as you saw when he was at Chelsea, he's willing to die for the shirt.
Yeah, exactly. And then maybe Garay, Argentina.
Yeah. And again, he's a decent defender.
Yeah, and then you got where is he? Subotic. That's Croatian. No, Serbian.
Yeah.
So there's a big market
I think for Souček and who's the other one for Souček and Kufal. I think they're from around there because they're both from.
Souček is Czech, and I think Kufal might be Slovakian.
He's Czech as well. Kufal is Czech. And so someone Souček. See, so if you do get someone, because at the moment they've at the battle against Crystal Palace they were playing Cresswell left back, Ogbonna and Craig Dawson as the centre backs, and Kufal at right back.
See, that's a good strong defence.
See, I know he had a good game, Craig Dawson, but he's old, and. The only connection I have with him is the fact that he used to play for Rochdale. Actually, no, I think he came through the Rochdale Academy.
But then I don't know why they don't look like Subotic. He's 32. He was at, I think, a League One team last. His market value is only 1.3 million. So,
it's like we said, it's a backup at the end of the day, isn't it?
Exactly, for Craig Dawson, and then Hulk,
Well, for the Hulk is more as a backup for Fornals, Benrahma, Bowen, Yarmolenko. Well, yeah, the big guy up front.
Then you got Pato, Sturridge, Diego Costa, Texera, Musa. There's loads of options.
There are, and it's just one of the. I just don't know. But then again, I don't know whether they're looking at bringing in what their model is, whether they're just going to bring in sort of the younger players. Because West Ham do have some good players to bring through. Yeah. Connor Coventry is just one of them that I know.
Mm.
He's quite a good player.
Yeah.
Who else did they play? Someone played it. Against Thingy. Who was it? Nathan, that was it. Nathan Trott. He was. I know he's a young player, but he was on loan at Wimbledon last season. I think he played okay. Goalkeepers, and as you know, it's not the easiest position.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just. I don't, like I said, I just don't know what Moyes is looking for. Because if he's just looking for backups, I don't know why he doesn't just dip into the free market.
You might as well, just for this season. If you can push top 6, 7, 8, you're going to be happy with that. And then next season, try and build on a long-term thing, or even just loan players. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of loan players out there that are willing to come. You're looking at, thank you. Someone that I like is Emile Smith-Rowe from Arsenal. I think if he went on loan to a team like West Ham or a team like, I don't know, I was going to say Leicester, but I don't know why Leicester would
I think he'd struggle getting into that. But then again, he's performing well at Arsenal, so it's like it's a bit of a double-edged sword. It's like, do you go on loan to West Ham with the possibility, of being in that West Ham team, or do you stick by Arsenal and carry on playing in that Arsenal team?
Yeah, that's true.
Because considering he's an Arsenal boy through and through, I think. So Emil Smith Rowe.
All right.
But you could get any even foreign players. Not foreign players, foreign clubs. Because some of the players that, like, for example, some of the younger players, like at Bayern Munich, Joshua Zirkzee, I think he's called.
Yeah, I think he's a striker.
Again, get him on loan. There's an English player.
Centre mid, yeah, I know you're on about.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. It begins with an M, I think.
Masiaslo or something. Masiaslo.
Yeah, something. Yeah. There are still some good. There's still some good players like that are English players that are abroad that you could easily get back loaned in.
That's true.
And then, right, one thing, Leeds.
What about?
Well, Bielsa has said he doesn't want to change. He's not changed. I don't know whether he said it, but they're not. They haven't changed the formation. They haven't changed any tactics or anything.
Yeah.
And it's not really working at times. It's worked at times. It has worked. It's not worked at times. It almost reminds me of Sarri at Chelsea, because he was because it was Rob Green said whilst he was at Chelsea, Sarri never changed anything, whether you were playing United or Watford.
Is that stubbornness or is that laziness?
That's the thing. I don't know whether it's I don't know whether it was just that's how he played and that was it.
I think that comes down to age as well. If you look at Bielsa, and you're saying how old is he? In his 60s probably, and he's not changing a single thing. And then you look at, well, I mean, for Solskjaer, say, he does occasionally change stuff. Is that due to age? You look at people like Sam Allardyce, but then I suppose David Moyes, like, yes, I don't know.
But then you get your David Moyes is more. I think his hand is forced.
Yeah, I suppose
with the players he's got, whereas whereas Bielsa's got quite a few players and good players at his disposal.
Sure.
Bielsa being 65, it could be an age thing. It could just be a stubbornness, because Sarri was quite old as well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think they're doing okay. Well, they're doing okay. Obviously, they're not going to get relegated.
Well, yeah, because I think obviously, despite how good they've been, how good they were in the Championship, and them thinking that they could push for they could do a Sheffield United and push for the Europe spots. But I think overall, I think for them, just staying in the Premier League just to try and not necessarily get experience, because Leeds are experienced in the Premier League, but for that squad, just stay in the Premier League, get the top division experience. Will do them good.
Build on it. They've been out of the Premier League for so long. Don't worry about going really, really high. Just build on it, and every year make little improvements. That will be further and further and further to the. Say in 5 years' time, if you can challenge top 4 in 5 years' time, that's good.
Yeah, because like you said, it's better to be honest, it's better monetary wise to do that than it is to go broke, to go for it guns blazing. Yeah, exactly.
To keep going up and down, up and down, up and down, just slowly, steady, start climbing, or even just stay where you are for 10 years. That's going to be better than going up and down, up and down.
Yeah, it was a good, and I think that's just all Leeds really need to do is just keeping the division, make sure that they're a steady Premier League team, and then they're building on each year. Yeah,
definitely.
And then last night we saw the shock result. I know you don't want to talk about it. We got to talk about it. United won, Sheffield United 2.
Oh. I don't want to talk about it.
We're going to talk about it.
I didn't even watch the highlights because I just thought, nah.
4 of Sheffield United's goals this
Shut
season
up.
have come against United.
And they've never scored more than 1 away goal this season.
Like
Oh,
I wasn't able to watch it because I don't have BT, but from what I've seen, Sheffield United played well. But then again, I think it just comes down to Sheffield United got now to lose.
well, yeah, but it's not just that. But I looked at the team and I thought, what are they doing? That team, like I said earlier, if you put, I mean, it's not a massive change, but Twanzebe played, who barely plays. Tellez plays in the Premier League, which he doesn't play in the Premier League. I don't know why he suddenly started doing that. And then he's put Pogba in a holding role. Pogba ain't been playing holding all bloody season. Why would you start playing him there now?
See, the thing is, for me, I never understood United's transfers, especially when they bought Van der Beek this season, because I always thought Pogba, Fernandes, and Van der Beek all played in the same position.
Bruno doesn't. Bruno's higher up. I think Van der Beek's are more box to box. Well, supposed to be, but I still don't know what Pogba does. I still don't know what his position is.
I just don't know whether I just don't know. It just seems a bit. For me, I don't know why he doesn't just play. Instead of going for because last night he played a 4-2-3-1. Why doesn't just go for a 4-3-3, but have more of an attacking role for Fernandes, and then you can have, for example, you can have Pogba do his thing, Van der Beek do his thing, whatever. I don't know. It just seems a bit. Or just go for a flat 4-3-3. I don't know. It just seemed a bit odd that they went and bought Van der Beek and now he's sat on the bench.
But my thought was that if they were buying a box-to-box midfielder, they'd either get rid of some of the midfielders they have, or they would have gotten rid of Pogba.
Yeah.
But
How much did United sign him for? Was it 40 odd million?
I think between 30 and 40.
Yeah.
Might have been 50.
It's just a bit.
But I mean, so who they got in midfield? They've got 5 players. They've got Van der Beek, Pogba, Matic, McTominay, Fred. That can all play in the same position. They only play 2 of them a game. So why do they have 5? They need to get rid of one of them. And if it was me, I'd get rid of Pogba.
Yeah, so you've got midfielders. You've got Matic, Pogba. Don't forget Lingard. I know Lingard can play. Lingard can, but still, he's still in that position. He's still. Fred, Fernandes, Van der Beek, McTominay. So, depending on the game, you're seeing McTominay play. Well, first off, you're seeing Fernandes play no matter what.
Yeah.
Because he's just a shoe-in at the moment. Then you're playing either McTominay and Pogba, Matic and Pogba, or Fred and Pogba.
Right, I'll tell you what my starting 11 is, just to see, and then tell me what yours is. So De Gea, obviously.
Yeah.
I haven't seen enough of Tellers this season, so I'll say Shaw. Maguire, Bailly, Wan-Bissaka, Fred, McTominay, Pogba, Fernandes, Rashford, Cavani.
That's not a bad side.
But I don't get why they persist with Martial. They persist with. Well, I don't even know why Matic was playing last night. I don't know why. I don't know. It just. When I looked at the halftime result, it was 1-0 to Sheffield United, and then I looked at the team and I thought, what are they doing? Martial. I honestly don't understand Martial, because one week he's a winger, the next week he's a striker. He can't score. He can score. He's happy. He's upset.
And then I think it's more down to Ole. Not realised, not necessarily, because I think he's a winger and he's almost like Rashford at the end of the day. He's a winger who plays on the left hand side, who cuts in to score goals. He drifts in behind the defence to get, which is exactly how Rashford plays.
But I don't get why.
So at the end of the day, I think it's just Ole trying to accompany for everybody, but then realising that he can't accompany for everybody because it's just not going to work.
But he's got an out-and-out striker sitting on the bench every week. Just play him.
If it were me,
an experienced player, just play him.
Yeah, I'd go De Gea in net, Shaw on left back, Wan-Bissaka at right back, and then your two defenders, Maguire and Bailly, obviously depending if he has to be fit.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got your three in midfield. I'd go Pogba, McTominay, and Fernandes. Then the three up front would be Rashford, Cavani, and Greenwood. Because when they played against Liverpool in the FA Cup, they played well together.
Yeah, but I don't see United playing as a 4-3-3.
I never understand why people play a 4-2-3-1. Doesn't make sense. Because it is a 4-3-3.
Yeah, but to boss the midfield. It is, but yeah. I don't know. To be a bit stronger in midfield.
But it doesn't half the time it doesn't work like that because you have Rashford and Greenwood who will push up anyway.
Yeah.
So then that means that the fullbacks then have to push up. So then it doesn't become a 4-2. It's not a 4-2-3-1 anymore.
Yeah, true. Well,
it's a similar idea to how Liverpool were playing. Whereas Liverpool didn't have two holding midfielders, they only had one, which was Fabinho, and he basically just joined the back two to make it a back three, whilst Trent and Robertson pushed up.
Yeah,
that's I think, and because Liverpool did it well last season, I think that's how everyone decided to play this season.
United have been playing 4-2-3-1 for ages.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that it's just happened, but I don't know. It just seems a bit. I just don't understand because for the formation, it just does. You might as well just play 4-3-3 to accompany for some of the players you've got.
Yeah, but then that's leaving out other players. Because if you said McTominay, Pogba, Fernandes, you're leaving out Fred.
Fred's hit and miss though. I know he's picked up recently, but he has been hit and miss.
I mean, yeah, this season you can't leave Fred out. He's been really good. Fred and McTominay have got a big ball.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah, like I said, he has been good this season, but like we've said for quite a few players, it could just be a one season thing.
Possibly.
It's just I think United's squad is too big at the moment for him, and they're not sure where to go with it.
It's too big in midfield. They need to get rid of one of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They need to just. I think they either need to get rid of Pogba or. Well, no, I don't really know because I wouldn't get rid of any of them.
Well, I would get rid of the only one I could see really getting rid of would be Matic, and that would only be due because of the age.
Yeah, but he's a bit part player now anyway, and I think he sort of accepted that. But then again, you've got players like Van der Beek, and I don't know why you like if they didn't have him, it would be one less problem.
Yeah,
because it's more of a problem him being there than him not being there.
At the moment, it's just bad press at the moment. That's all he's bringing you.
Yeah,
it's just not. It's not like that's why I said. I think it just needs a trim. Like the midfield needs a trim. I think the whole squad in general needs a trim because you've got players there that you're not going to play. Like for example, I know this is goalkeepers, but Sergio Romero.
Yeah, he ain't going to play
since Dean Henderson's come back. Romero's not going to play.
We've got 5 goalkeepers now.
You know, I know they're injured, but Rojo, Jones.
Yeah.
You know.
But Jones is on a ridiculous wage.
I know they both would provide backup, but you could bring in, you know, you've got plenty of young players in the wings.
Yeah. Do you know how much money Jones is on?
How much?
It's like 100, 110.
See, and that's 100. That's 100 grand a week that you could easily just slash out the budget, and that could go. And then that means that you've got more money for transfers. Or
United are stupid, aren't they?
For bringing in or boosting the academy or something like that.
Wait, I might have just started chatting. Oh, well, I mean, that's still a lot. He's on 75,000.
Still, yeah, but still,
Wait,
75 grand a week. And then I would presume that Rojo's not far short of
that. Rojo's on 80.
Yeah, so he's not far short of that. So you know, that's more than 140 grand a week on 2 players.
How much do you think Igalo was on?
He was got to be on at least, if Jones is on 75, he would have been at least 90.
101.
Wow. I mean, he's made his money and then gone.
That's fair enough.
But another player, I know he's a backup, but he's getting older now. Mata.
Who?
Juan Mata.
I mean, he's only 31.
But he doesn't. He only plays. He plays rarely. He don't even play in cup games.
Yeah. What do you want me to do? I don't know.
I'm just bringing it up.
I know. I'm looking at players. Do you know who we got rid of this season?
Who?
Joel Pereira.
He's on loan.
Chong.
Isn't Pereira on loan?
These are all on loan. Pereira, Chong,
okay.
and Pereira. We didn't even get rid of any of them. We should have got rid of Chong. We should have got rid of Pereira, and we should have got rid of the other Pereira. I think we should keep Delo, but we should have got rid of every one of them.
It's Fosu Mensah.
Doing well. Oh, God.
Timothy Fosu Mensah, he's gone. 1.4 million.
See,
Chris
nothing.
Smalling, 13 million.
Well, that's okay.
Dalot's on loan. Pereira's on loan. James Garner's on loan. Joe Pereira's on loan. Tatis Chong's on loan. Rojo's on loan. Obviously, you got rid of Sanchez was gone, obviously.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. But yeah, I understand why someone, for example, like Fosu Mensah left, but he could have been a good backup for you guys, because he could have. I know he's not played, but you know, you just need it, especially that defense, because obviously you've got at the moment you've got Maguire, Lindelof, Tuanzebe, and that's it at the moment. Because obviously, Bailly's injured.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you just need one more centre back, just in case, just to give a whole rotation.
But we need a left-footed one.
Yeah, Tyrone Mings.
Zagadou. Forget Tyrone Mings. Zagadou from Dortmund.
Yeah,
I think he's had a knee injury, and he's like 6'5" or 6'6" as well, and he's only 21 years old.
Yeah, and it makes sense. It makes sense as well, because obviously, I know, you got other players in the squad that speak French as well, because I know he's French.
Yeah.
So he'll be able to settle in pretty well.
Oh, here you go. There's an article. 5 left-footed centre-backs who could partner Maguire at Man United. Let's see what they're chatting. Right, so the first one is...
Tyrone Mings.
It is Tyrone Mings.
I knew it.
Forget Tyrone Mings. The fourth one is Zagadou.
Yeah.
Third is Pau Torres from Villarreal, 23 years old.
Yeah, not bad.
Second is Romagnoli.
I wouldn't see him leaving, though.
And then number 1, let's see what it is.
Oh.
I'm assuming this was before he joined City. Nathan Ake.
Yeah.
So,
Just
I mean, that
get him on loan. Just get him on loan. He's not playing that much.
Wait, here's another 6 left-sided centre-backs. Who's the extra? See if they've added. Let's have a look. Hell is that?
Who?
Mohamed Salisu. He plays for Real Valladolid.
I'm not going to lie. I don't know who that is.
Titi.
Titi could be because I don't think he's playing that much at Barcelona.
And they got Upamecano and Kimpembe.
Upamecano.
I hate Kimpembe.
I'll tell you something. Upamecano will be a good one for the future if they're willing to shell out the money for him.
Yeah, it's going to cost a load.
Because I know his market value is probably something like, I think it's 20 million or something like that. But
yeah, it's going to cost you at least 50, 60, 70.
I was going to say Leipzig are going to want at least 50, 60, like you said.
Definitely.
And then, you got Kimpembe. I know you don't like it, but he's still good. He's still an all right centre back.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's fast, he's strong. I think out of them, I'd probably take Zagadou, probably because he'd be the cheaper option.
Yeah. Unless
you go completely off the ball and get someone no one's ever heard of.
Yeah, but then it's the question is it going to be good enough?
I think Tyrone Mings could work, but again, 5 years ago, it would have been like 15 mil. Now we're talking 35, 40.
Yeah. Well, especially how Villa are performing at the moment, I would even argue that they especially Villa, because I think they don't want to lose him, so I think they'd even push it up to 50.
Yeah,
and force the hand, just like Everton did with John Stones.
Yeah, that's true.
It's where it's more. If you want him, you pay this much, and that's it.
Yeah, that's true.
And then, well, another team here that's having problems with the squad, Chelsea. They drew 0-0 with Wolves. Recently sacked Frank Lampard. So before we talk about the game, I know. Do you think they were right to sack him?
No, I think they should have kept him. I don't think he was doing terribly. I also think that it's a couple of years ago, it used to be 3 jobs were available. There were 3 managers available. They fit the role. But now, I was talking to my dad the other day about it. I was saying, there's Allegri, there's Tuchel, and I can't think of anyone else that's really available. I was thinking there's Julian Nagelsmann at Leipzig. That would be a very good shout. I was talking within the Premier League as well. I said there's Nuno Espirito Santo. And who was the other one I said? Hasenhüttl. But I said to my dad, the one they shouldn't go for is Thomas Tuchel. And I just don't think he's good enough.
I think the only reason why they've gone with Tuchel, I think, is because he's German.
That doesn't mean anything. He's never managed by either of them.
But the reason why, but if you think about it, they're looking at it thinking, will he be able to get the best out of Werner and Havertz because he can speak German? Because he's German.
But what about if he doesn't?
I don't know. I don't know. I think this will end up being, like a Ruud Gullit, Villas-Boas situation kind of thing, where it's going to be, oh, he's not that great, but we'll stick with him for the moment because we can't look like a fool because we've already sacked our manager.
But yeah, but they don't stick with. Give it to the end of the season. If he ain't pushed them to top 4, he ain't staying there.
No.
But then again, you're in the same predicament. Why would you risk it? Just let Frank Lampard try and get you top 6, and then and then by the end of the season, you never know. There might be another manager willing to come. See where Wolves have gone. See where Southampton have gone, and then you could potentially get one of those.
And then the thing is as well, it's also like before he moved to Chelsea, I said to my dad as well. I said, I don't think they should have gone for Frank Lampard when they did. I think it was too soon. I think it was too soon.
Yeah, of course. It just made sense because it was the era that a lot of players that used to play for the club started to manage that team.
Yeah, because when we're all going to blame United because United started it,
and he's still there.
Yeah, that's the thing. And United is a good example about sticking by him.
Exactly.
Because
there's been about 4 or 5 times where we've wanted to sack him, but then the board are like, no, we'll keep with him. And I know this game yesterday, but I mean, generally, I would give him being there a good solid 7, 8 out of 10. Whereas,
yeah, because obviously there has been times where you think, what's going on?
Yeah,
but you get that. But all managers have them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you think that, well, if you look at Mourinho when he went to Chelsea the second time, he won the league the first year he was there, and then all of a sudden, then the next year, they were sitting pretty much where Arsenal are.
Yeah,
before when they sacked him.
Yeah.
So it was almost like, I just think everyone has blips, and then I think they should have stuck by him because, he's able then to go to work through the blip. He's able to, because I said this as well. I don't think he knew exactly where his starting 11 was because he was always mixing. He was always mixing it around though.
Yeah, again though, they've got a lot of players.
Yeah, even though they've got a lot of players, like United, even though they take players out and things like that, he has a starting 11.
Yeah,
he knows who's going to play where. Even before the game, even before the weekend started.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas, and also I think with Lampard as well, he was playing. I think he was playing Werner out of position. Because that's what I was saying. I always saw Werner as a striker who was able to get in behind the defence so you could play quick passes.
That's what he does. That is what he does.
So I just think he was playing him out of position, and I think he was too naive. He was not necessarily naive, but too stubborn to see it.
Yeah, Lampard was definitely someone who was really, really stubborn.
Because I know I've said that. I know we said in private, but Mount, he's a good player. Don't get me wrong, he is a good player, but in some of the games he's not playing better than some of the players.
No, I think it helps that he was under Frank Lampard at Derby. He was the poster boy at Derby. I think, to be honest, now he's the poster boy at Chelsea. It probably won't be long until he's captain.
Oh, well, he was captain against Luton, wasn't he?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, there you go then. So give it next season, he'll probably be captain. Well, if Tuchel might give it someone else.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It depends, because I reckon if he stays Tuchel and Thiago Silva stays, he'll give it Thiago Silva.
Yeah, because they played under PSG, didn't they?
Yeah, and it'll be the experience.
Yeah, but that makes the most sense. Or Azpilicueta.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
one of them two.
Doesn't really play much anymore, does he?
Yeah, he's playing right back instead of Reece James at the moment.
Oh.
Yeah, which that's another one that I thought, really? Because about his age, but he's still playing well.
Yeah, he's been consistent for a long. How
When,
long's he been there? Like 10 years?
Yeah, something like that. Because I think when one season, I can't remember which season it was, but he played every game every minute, should I say, in the Premier League.
Yeah, he's a very good, solid player that will give you 7, 8 rating.
31. Oh, he's been there 8 years.
Looks like they've been around for ages. 8 years.
And he's played 433 games for him.
Yeah, that's solid. That's what, 50 games a season?
Yeah.
All right.
It's just, I don't know. Again, it's a tough one at Chelsea because it's like.
Wait, what? He's played how many games from?
So there again.
How many games has he played?
433.
Fair enough. I swear that's loads in 8 seasons.
Yeah.
That's like 55 games a season. What the fuck?
And like I said, one season, I can't remember when it was. I think it was like 2012 or something like that. I think it was the Conte era. I think I might be wrong with that. What he played every minute in the Premier League.
I heard about someone doing that the other day. Might have been Declan Rice. It's impressive that they can do that.
Yeah. I don't know how true this was, but apparently, Lampard really wanted Declan Rice, and that I don't know how true it was, but I heard that someone said that that was the reason, that was one of the factoring reasons why he was sacked. His persistence to get Rice.
But why is that a bad thing?
I don't know.
Why are they sacking him because of that?
I don't know. But then again, it's Abramovich at the end of the day. He's ruthless.
Yeah, that's true.
And again, this is another thing I said to my dad. I think that Abramovich, because remember when he came in, this was 04-05. This get Mourinho, win back-to-back titles. They played incredible as well. I think didn't they have the longest home record until Liverpool? Something like that. The most points. Oh, sorry, no, was it the most wins in the Premier League as well? They still hold that record for that season, obviously without going unbeaten.
Yeah.
They had a great team, and I think Abramovich is still looking at that season and saying that's where Chelsea is, or that's where Chelsea needs to be. So if it's not that, then I don't want it.
It's crazy with Chelsea because they do, like when you say under Conte and Mourinho, they seemed like they're one of the top 5 teams in the world, and now you wouldn't even put them top 5 teams in the Premier League. Yeah, it's so odd. It's so weird that they can go from having players like Diego Costa. I mean, is Pedro still there?
No, he left last season.
Players like him, John Terry, Lampard, players like that. Well, yeah.
Drogba.
And then they go from having Drogba as well, yeah. And then they go to having Tammy Abraham, Giroud. It's just such an odd drop off. I don't get it. I
think the attraction of Chelsea's gone now. Because obviously previously.
Oh yeah.
No. It was, you had some of the greatest players, like you had Makalele, Essien, another one. I know he wasn't, he's not, world class as in, Figos and things like that in the past, but he was still a good player.
Yeah.
You had, like you said, John Terry, Ashley Cole. He was another great player. Yeah. Peter Cech.
Yeah.
And I just, like you said, it is just a bit of a weird kind of, 04-05, and then sort of in the early 2000s they were up here, and then the sort of here. They're not quite, they're not bottom, but they're not sort of any higher. They're just sort of average now.
Yeah.
And I think that's I don't know whether that's just due to the recruitment, because that might be it. That might be it. Sort of picking out. It could be picking out the wrong players.
But again, it just seems like a mesh of all different type of players. You look at the goalkeeper, Mendy, terrible signing. You look at
I think Mendy was meant at the time when he first joined, he was great, but I think now it's starting to.
I disagree that he was great.
I think what I think it is. I think there's not much communication going on, because there's been quite a few times when when I've been watching him and he's made a mistake, and it's because, for example, it could be Apple Ziqueta or someone is going for the ball, but he hasn't shouted for it. So I don't know whether it's the communication or something like that. I don't necessarily, like I said, I don't know whether that is a factor.
I don't get why I know they bought him because Kepa. I mean, Kepa's not a bad keeper. Kepa is just had a bad time, and it didn't help with fans and press harping on about it. It's like with Karius. Karius at Liverpool. He was not a bad keeper. He made 2 mistakes in a Champions League final, and all of a sudden he's the worst keeper in the world. It don't work like that.
No.
He was good up until then. There's a reason he played that final.
Yeah. But then again, things like when it's a final like that, that's what happens to players. Because obviously, I know I'm going back to. I'm going to say Tammy Abraham. Remember the Super Cup? Not last season when they played Liverpool. It was whenever they played. I think it was like Sevilla or someone like that. Tammy Abraham had to step up, take a penalty. I think it was whilst Mourinho was there. He had to take up. It was a winning penalty, but he missed.
Yeah.
And then Mourinho sent him out on loan.
Yeah. I remember.
So
it was the same with was it Lukaku? I think he did that when he was at Chelsea, when Chelsea won the thingy. And who'd they play? Who won the Europa League when thingy won the Champions League? When Chelsea won the Champions League in 2012.
In 2012. Oh, was it Madrid? Was it Atletico?
Might have been. And I remember they took a penalty and he missed and they lost, and then that was the end of his career. It's just I just think it's wrong to define someone for one mistake, one error, and just harp on about it. Because I guarantee if that Liverpool if Van Dijk would have say Karius would have passed the ball to Van Dijk on that roll, and Van Dijk kicked it to Benzema and Benzema scored, no one would care.
Atletico Madrid.
People wouldn't harp on about it. It's because, well, look at my dissertation. I wrote a whole thing about how goalkeepers get the worst feedback, and they get criticised ridiculously because of one mistake compared to other players. And it's true, it does happen.
Yeah.
When I was interviewing footballers, I was interviewing journalists, and they agreed. I was looking at the stats, and the amount of negativity versus the outfield players was tenfold. There was loads.
Really, because I think because goalkeepers are seen as the last line of defence, it's like if they make a mistake,
that's the reason they make more mistakes.
Yeah.
Because if they don't save it, it goes in. That's not their fault. It shouldn't. And then a lot of the time, it shouldn't be brought to them in the first place. The defenders and midfielders should deal with it. The midfielders are. I'd say the midfield is probably the least critical position on the pitch, because they can run around all game, pass the ball, look like they've had a good game and do nothing, and still get a praise. A goalkeeper can make 10 saves, make 2 mistakes, and they're the worst player on the pitch.
Yeah, I agree with the goalkeeper there. And like I said, I think it's because they're the last line of defence. Everyone sees them as, if that mistake costs it's their fault because they're the last line of defence. They should be making those saves. And like you said, it just makes no sense, because it's like, at the end of the day, you've got 10 players in front of the goal that should be stopping it.
Yeah, exactly. They shouldn't be getting to that position. Why are you allowing a 20-yard shot and the keeper lets it in, a corner? The keeper doesn't come out for it, but then the player that heads it isn't even marked.
Yeah. Things
like that. It's just stupid. But, I mean, I think Mendy is a solid... ish keeper, but I think the only reason that people think he was really good at the start is because they had no expectation, because they didn't know who he was.
Yeah.
And Kepa had already left such a bad taste in the fans' mouth. They thought, well, he can't be any worse than what we've already got. And when he actually did well, he did what a keeper should do, but it just looked good because Kepa had a bad attitude and wasn't living up to his price tag. That's the only thing. He was doing what a keeper should do. If Kepa had done if Kepa had shut his mouth and got on with it, he'd still be there. I mean, he is there, but I mean...
But he wouldn't be the cup keeper.
Exactly.
I think at the moment, I swear Kepa's like the most expensive cup keeper.
He's like 72 million or something.
75, I think it was, because at Bilbao they always have a thing where it's, if there's someone comes in for you and you want out, you buy yourself out of your contract.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's like you have to, because I think who else was it? Was it someone else from Bilbao? I think it wasn't Llorente, was it?
To who?
I think it was Fernando Llorente to Tottenham. I can't remember. It was someone else other than Kepa. Recently, it's within the last 5 years. And like I said, the whole thing at Bilbao for it was Laporte. That was it.
Right.
The whole thing is they don't. If you really want to leave that badly, they say you have to buy yourself out of your contract.
Oh, right.
You have to pay the release clause. So moving on to, there's a game tonight actually.
What was that?
Tottenham versus Liverpool.
Right.
To be honest, I see this one. That could go either way.
I think 2-2 draw.
I'd go 2-1 Tottenham.
Fair. I just think that Liverpool don't like letting big teams beat them. Tottenham are in a decent form. They're just a solid side. Good defenders. If Liverpool players don't turn up, they'll easily deal with them. But I think Liverpool could get a couple of goals just from like Salah, left footer, and maybe a corner or something.
Yeah, see, I think that it'll be almost like when Tottenham play Arsenal, they'll get goals early because I think they'll be able to pick them off Liverpool because they'll just sit back like Tottenham do and then counter attack, and then because like we saw against United, they've got Williams and Fabinho. I know Fabinho's a good defender, but when you've got a player like Williams who was making those mistakes, I think players like Son and Kane will pick them off easy.
Yeah, that's true. I still think 2-2.
Fair enough. Everton versus Newcastle. That's the early kickoff on Saturday.
Ooh.
I think Everton have got that one easy.
I think 3-1 Everton. Dominic Calvert-Lewin brace and
Rodriguez.
Sigurdsson free kick.
I think that could be a 3-0. I don't know what I always thought that Steve Bruce was a bit of a odd signing for Newcastle. Bringing him in because he never. He was, don't get me wrong, he was an all right. He was a good player as a United player, but as a manager, he didn't really do much.
No, he's always just been around. He's there for like a year and a half, goes to the next team, goes to the next team, goes to the next team. Yeah, he's not. He's just a manager to keep someone up, or
he's almost like a Sam Allardyce kind of role in it. Palace Wolves is one of the 3 o'clocks. I think Wolves have got that. I think that will be a tighter one than we think, because I think Palace will do well because of you got Eze, there's Zaha, Schluppers, just to name a few of them. But then again, if Wolves play the game that they play, it could be that's one that genuinely could go either way.
I think 1-1.
2-1 Palace.
So I would have leaned towards a Palace win more than a Wolves one.
I think it'll be like they did again at the weekend. I think it'll be a late goal.
Benteke.
Or Batshuayi.
Yeah, he scored the other day, didn't he?
Yeah.
I forgot he's even a footballer. From Valencia, Chelsea, Dortmund, and fucking Palace.
City versus Sheffield United. City win, easy.
Yeah, probably like a 4-1, 5-1.
See, I'd even say 4-0. I don't think that. I think Sheffield United got shut out me.
I think 4-1, 5-1 maybe.
Biggest game on Saturday. This is the biggest game. Are you ready? It's not really, but I'm just saying.
No.
West Brom versus Fulham.
Jesus.
That's got like a 1-0. That's got like a 1-0 or a 0-0 written all over it.
You know what? I'll say 3-1 to West Brom.
Wow. I'm going to say 1-0 Fulham.
I'll say that Pereira. Is it Pereira?
Matheus Pereira, yeah.
I feel like he'll do something. And that one that he got on loan from Chelsea that you were on about earlier, Conor Gallagher?
Oh, yeah.
Him, maybe. Oh, sorry. I'm on about a different player.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, there's a guy from Chelsea called Conor Gallagher, I think, that's on loan at West Brom. That's doing okay, I think. I know Fulham have got like Bobby De Cova, Coda,
Anguissa.
Who's that big striker? Mitrovic, Anguissa, Harrison Reed.
They've got an all right squad, Fulham.
Sam Allardyce is their manager, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nah, Fulham's going to win.
That's fine. But then again, I don't think it could be, again, like the Palace Wolves game, it could go either way depending on how Fulham approach the game and how West Brom approach the game. Because if West Brom approach it of let's go get 3 points, or whether West Brom's think, or whether Allardyce is more, we need to protect what we've got.
Yeah, so badly. 1-0 Fulham.
Then the later kickoff, 5:30, Arsenal versus Man United. I know this one's steeped in history. Recently, it's not been that bad. I'm gonna say 3-1 United.
I'll say 1-1.
Because even though I know Arsenal won at the during the week, but I just don't think
they've already beaten us this season.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think that Arsenal will be able to turn what they did in midweek into the weekend, and I think United will have a better chance of overcoming what they did during the week.
Right. I think United will settle for a draw, and I think Arsenal will push and push and push, but we'll just sit back and defend for a lot of the game, just because we'll want a bit of a positive boost from Sheffield.
Yeah, and then the final game on Saturday, Southampton versus Aston Villa.
Ooh.
That's a tough one because, like I said with Palace and Wolves and West Brom and Fulham, that could be another go either way. Because if Villa approach it like they've done previously, against Burnley when they only just beat them 3-2. But no, they lost 3-2, didn't they?
Yeah.
So if they approach it like that, it could be a good game, and we could see goals. Because obviously we've seen Southampton pick up some good results here and there when they've needed to. Yeah. But then again, Villa have done the same thing. I know towards the start of the season it was a bit manic, when they beat Liverpool 7-2. But Villa have still got some good players in the side.
What's your prediction? Because I think mine's a bit mad.
2-1 Villa.
Ooh, I was going to say 2-0 Southampton.
It could happen.
I think James Ward-Prowse, if he plays, which he probably will, free kick potentially. And then maybe potentially Shea Adams. I know Danny Ings is there, but I think Shea Adams could score. I just think Villa, I know they just lost, so I'm thinking they might not come back from that. They might have, a game or two where they don't recover and drop a couple of crucial points. And Southampton might try and climb up a bit more up the table because they're like, 8th or 9th at the minute.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they might try and climb back up a little bit.
I mean, at the end of the day, it could go either way because obviously they both lost during the week. Depends on how they both approach it. Because if they both approach it in like a, well, we'll see what happens kind of approach, then it could be a draw. But then obviously if either team thinks we can get something from this, then I think it all depends on who gets the first goal.
I don't think that matters because I think if even Villa score first, I think Southampton can come back. Southampton are a team that aren't fazed by conceding, whereas I think Villa are.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, but only time will tell, I guess.
True.
So the first game on a Sunday, is at 12 o'clock. Chelsea versus Burnley.
I forgot what I said.
See, I think Chelsea will win only because they've got what the Chelsea players will be wanting to do is to win the manager over, to get starting position.
But they drew with Wolves. They drew 0-0. Wolves are like 14th. Burnley are 16th. So they're not far off. I think it'll be possibly 1-1. I could see. I'm trying to think. Maybe Chris Wood centre back up from a corner or something, and then I can see the exact same thing happening against Burnley. Someone like Thiago Silva, Zuma, even going up for a corner and scoring. I think it'll be a pretty dead game, to be honest.
Well, it could be, but then it could be just be a case of Chelsea go and nick one, or even Burnley go and nick one.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be many goals. I think there'll probably be 2 goals maximum, and just split it either. I don't think it'll be 2-0 to anyone. I think it'll be a 1-0 win either side.
There'll definitely more than a. It definitely won't be a clean sheet for either team. I just only because the Chelsea defence doesn't look too promising. You know, it looks better than it did.
Yeah,
but it's not. Pardon?
What happened with Rudiger the other day? Or someone came out about him, innit?
I haven't seen anything about it.
I saw on Instagram people posting about Rudiger. Apparently, there's rumours coming out, but I don't even know what the rumours are. I tried looking it up, but they wouldn't. There's no there's no quote about what he said. They just say there's rumours coming out about Rudiger, and people are supporting him. Like I saw Tammy Abraham tweeting about it, supporting him or something. I couldn't even tell you what.
Because to be honest, it could be to do with racism.
Yeah. But it was what Rudiger did. It wasn't about what happened to Rudiger. It's about what Rudiger did. But I don't know what it was. Because I saw Tammy Abraham tweeting saying, it's a load of rubbish, blah, 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 blah. But I didn't even know what it was. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Anyway. Go on, sorry.
And I think, with the Chelsea defence not looking great at the moment, it's not good. And, Burnley being kind of solid, not quite, not completely solid. They've looked better at times. But, I just think it'll be... like I said, there won't be a clean sheet for either team.
No.
But I'm going to say Chelsea win 2-1.
I'll say 1-1.
Fair enough. Leicester versus Leeds is the next one.
Ooh. I'm going to say
Leicester to win 3-1.
Oh yeah, I was going to say maybe 4-1 because I think Leeds will just keep going and going and going and going, and Leicester they'll just keep breaking them down.
I think Leicester will be able to pick them off easy because, like we've seen quite a few teams do now, all we need to do is just basically being able to pass around them. That's all you really need to do. Because Leeds just decide to go full on attack. We'll just go. We'll fill in kind of holes here and there. So if you just manage to drag people out of positions and pass around them,
if they can get past the midfield, their defence is terrible. So they ain't got to do it. If they play Luke Ayling as centre back,
And
Luke
if you have
Hayden's
some, and when you've got someone like Vardy, who runs behind the defence, and is able to break that defence down, especially when you've got players like Maddison, Tielemans to make those passes.
Yeah.
You know, it could be a high-scoring game, and I think it will be. It'll be definitely. I think it'll be in Leicester's favour.
Definitely, I'm saying 4-1.
I think 3-1. But next one, West Ham versus Liverpool.
Oh, I'm going for a West Ham win. You know.
See, I think Liverpool, but I think it'll be like 1-0.
2-1.
I think it'll be 1-0 to Liverpool only because it'll be somewhat like just before half time or halfway through the first half. Liverpool will break, they'll score a goal, and then they won't be able to score another one.
Right.
Because I think as soon as, because if Liverpool score, West Ham will just show up shop. They won't. They will not be. They'll try their hardest not to be broken down. But then I think in that, them doing that, I think will impair them going forward. So I think it'll just be a bit of a nothing game in the end.
Yeah. I mean, I can see. I think West Ham will win. I think Liverpool just won't offer much going forward. West Ham are in a really good form. They've got a solid keeper, solid defence, solid midfield. They probably lack a little bit going forward, but I mean, they've got Thomas Souček who can do stuff. Corners, free kicks. I think he could maybe come in handy, even score another goal, especially if you're playing Reece Williams, John Henderson. You know, in centre back, he can definitely challenge from them.
Yeah, that is true. But I just think it will just be a. I think to be honest with you, even if West Ham win, I think it'll just be a nothing game anyway. I think West Ham will take it, even if it's a 1-0. You know, it'll just be one of those games.
Yeah.
And then last game on Sunday, last game of the weekend is Brighton versus Tottenham.
Tottenham 2-0.
Tottenham 2-1. Only because I think it could be. I think Brighton could get an early goal maybe.
Right.
Because I think that's what I think Graham Potter will set out almost to try and get the first goal.
Yeah.
You know, get more pay in the first goal, and then Tottenham will they'll just switch on and then break it down, and I think it'll just end up 2-1.
I don't think Brighton offer much again, like a lot of these teams that are like Burnley and West Ham. Well, I say West Ham, but say Burnley and Newcastle, they don't offer a lot going forward. Like they have Connolly, they have Morpie, like that Yahang Bash. Other than them, I don't see him scoring. I think Morpie scored like 6 goals this season. He's not been prolific. Connolly, I think, scored maybe 1 or 2. They're not prolific up front. They don't have much going forward. I think they've got an Argentine, McAllister.
Yeah.
They're just not very good. And I think Tottenham just will break them down on the counter-attack.
Yeah, there's a possibility. But I'm still going 2-1 Tottenham. And then to wrap it up, let's talk about FIFA Team of the Year.
Bring it on.
You've seen the Team of the Year. You got Neuer in net, 96 rated. Alphonso Davies left back 93. Sergio Ramos and Van Dijk in centre back, both 96 rated. Alexander Arnold right back 94 rated. The 3 in midfield is Bruno Fernandes 97, De Bruyne 96, Kimmich 96. Your front 3 of Ronaldo 98, Lewandowski 98, and Mbappe 97.
Yep.
The big talking point everyone's saying is where's Messi?
That's true. I mean, it's not just Messi though. There's loads of players they missed out. You think of Immobile, you think of Lukaku. You know, instantly you're expecting Ronaldo shouldn't be in there. Ronaldo shouldn't be in there. It's ridiculous that Ronaldo's in there. I don't watch a lot of foreign football. The only players, so is this based off of the 2020 year from January to December? Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. I was going to say, because if it's based off this year as well, Trent shouldn't be anywhere near that team, or Van Dijk. But I'd say the only ones I wholeheartedly agree with, because I don't watch foreign football as much, is I agree with Bruno Fernandes, I agree with Kevin De Bruyne, and I agree with Lewandowski.
Yeah, I was going to say I completely agree with Lewandowski. I think if they had had the Ballon d'Or this year, he'd have won it. Last year, he would have won it.
Yeah. It'd have been stupid if he didn't. Neuer, I think they're the only three. But then even then, I could say De Bruyne no, because he's had patches. But then I suppose Bruno Fernandes wasn't at United the whole year. So,
I agree with him with Neuer as well, because if you think about it, Champions League winner, he played pretty well in the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
There's not many. You can't really say there's that many keepers that have been on the same level as him recently.
No, I'd say he's back to pretty much what he was at. I'd say the only one that could potentially challenge is Oblak, but then he hasn't won anything.
Yeah, I think given time, I think Oblak will. I think it will. I think it will be a case of Neuer's passing on the torch to Oblak almost.
Mm-hmm.
I know he won't want to, but I think that's what will happen. Because at the moment in the Germany team, there's a bit of a rift between Neuer and ter Stegen, because Germany want to play ter Stegen, but then the Bayern chairman is like, if you don't play Neuer, we're not sending our players.
Yeah.
So it's almost... So there is a shooing, recently, obviously, ter Stegen's not been that good, because the Barcelona team's not been where it used to be.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I agree with Alphonso Davies as well.
I can't name another left back that can potentially challenge him. I think it's not necessarily about his performances on the pitch, but I think it's a little bit about his upcoming, his rise, and sort of where he came from. I don't want to say that it's a pity vote, because it isn't.
No, it's definitely not, because he played well, because obviously he was in that Champions League winning Bayern team. And he's won the league. I think didn't he win the German Cup?
I think so.
So they're out of it this season.
Yeah.
He's got knocked out on penalties, but still, I think I think is he 20?
Yeah, I think so. 2021.
Being in the form he was the last season, he was almost unstoppable.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of players who could rival him. The only one, obviously, last year it was Robertson, but Robertson don't touch him this year.
Yeah, no.
I'm just looking at I'll go through the names of the shortlist if you want.
Yeah.
So for goalkeepers, we had Alisson, Courtois, Ederson, Hradecky, Mandanda, Navas, and Neuer. So instantly you can get rid of Hradecky and Mandanda.
Yeah.
The three you would probably say is probably Alisson, Neuer, and Navas.
Alisson is a maybe because of he did play okay. He played good in the in that Liverpool team, but then he didn't win any. He didn't win anything really, other than he won. Obviously, he won the league, but he didn't really. Some of the Neuer, for example, he won the league and the Champions League and the German Cup, whereas Alisson won the league, got knocked out of the Champions League. Literally first knockout stage, was it?
To Atleti, I think so.
Was that the first or the second round of knockouts? Lost the League Cup because they were in cup. They won the Club World Cup, but that's just a bit of the Club World Cup's just it's not nothing really at the moment.
No.
So I think the best person's put in there is Neuer.
Yeah. I mean,
in,
that would have been...
in recent times.
Yeah. And then you got defenders. So you got Ramos and Van Dijk that made it. But then you had Acerbi, Jordan Amavi, Angelino, which I thought was an interesting one. I thought he easily could have got in there.
Yeah, that's the only person really who could rival Davis at left back.
Yeah. And then you had De Vrij, who has had a really good season at Inter.
Yeah.
Matthias Ginter at Mönchengladbach. You've got Theo Hernandez as well at AC Milan.
Yeah.
That has done really well. Mats Hummels, who I don't agree with.
He's okay. He's done okay. Not really.
Jesus Navas won the Europa League. Captained them as well.
Yeah.
I
don't think. But then I don't think Jesus Navas has been consistently kind of at the level of the likes of Angelino and Davis.
No, but yeah, for the right back slot, I'd say he's probably one of the ones that challenges Trent.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it was just them two at right back. So
yeah, so it would have been So right back, right. So ours looks like Neuer in net, Trent right back at the moment.
Yeah, because it's between him and Jesus Navas, and Jesus Navas doesn't get in.
And then so our left back.
So the left backs we've got Andrew Robertson, we've got Jordi Alba, we've got Theo Hernandez, Alphonso Davies, Angelino, and Jordan Amavi.
Well, so take out Jordi Alba.
Yeah, take out Amavi.
Yeah. So you're left with Robertson, Angelino, and Davis.
Robertson, Angelino, Davis, and Theo Hernandez. You can take him out as well.
Theo Hernandez he's been okay. He's been good, but he didn't win the league.
No.
He didn't win the Italian Cup. Didn't win Champions League. Didn't win Europa League.
No.
The team of the year has got to be someone at least who's won, whether it be a continental, whether it be Europa.
You say that, but you didn't put Alisson in.
Yeah, but
then you're putting Trent. I suppose it's Trent over Navas. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
And for me, it has to be Davis as left back.
Yeah, I'd say if it wasn't Davis, it would be Angelino.
Yeah, and the only reason why I'd go Angelino is because even though he didn't win anything, I think he performed at a better standard to Robertson.
Yeah, Robertson's had up and downs. And then the centre backs you've got is Virgil van Dijk and Ramos, obviously, that made it. But then you had Thiago Silva, Marquinhos, Laporte, Kimpembe, Hummels, Ginter, De Vrij, and Acerbi. So the 3 or 4 players that I would debate would be Marquinhos, Laporte, Kimpembe, and potentially De Vrij.
Well,
I think any PSG players you've got to have PSG players filtering through this team.
Yeah,
there should be more than just Mbappe in this team from PSG.
But then I'm also going to say the reason I'm going to counterpoint and say the only reason why Mbappe's in this team is because he's the cover star.
Possibly, but I think he warrants being in the team.
Yeah, but let's not discuss that yet. We'll move on to that when we get to the attackers. Centre backs. The only one when you said Laporte, I'm only going to say this: he was injured though for quite a lot.
Yeah,
he had quite a few injuries.
True. Yeah, so maybe not him, but I would even debate putting you say about winning stuff. I know PSG won the league. Did they win the French Cup or did someone else? I think someone else.
I think they won it. I think they won the French Cup.
They won that, and they reached the final of the Champions League. But Van Dijk's in the. It doesn't make sense. This is what annoys me. It annoys me that Liverpool players get filtered through this team because they won the Champions League, not in 2020. They won the league, fair enough, in 2020, but that's all they won. They won the league in 2020. That is it. Why are they getting so many players? I mean, I say that they've only got 2, but
yeah,
I don't think. I think Trent is the only one that can really properly get into this team because it's not fair because there aren't enough right backs to challenge.
The only other competition is Jesus Navas, who's
Exactly.
33.
Something like that. Yeah,
You
Yeah,
know,
but why couldn't you put who's the right back for Bayern Munich? I don't even think they play at right back, do they?
no, because Kimmich used to be the right back. Then he
Yeah, but
moved
now
into
he's
midfield.
I'm trying to think. Who's PSG's?
It's not Bernat because Bernat's on the other side.
But that's left. Who even is it? I don't even know.
Let me have a look. It's gonna do me head in.
Oh, Thomas. Oh no, I was about to say Thomas Meunier, but he's just joined thing.
You got Caher. He could play right back.
Yeah, forget that. There's no wonder why.
Yes, they don't really have an out-and-out right back. But who played? Let's see.
It used to be Thomas Meunier.
Yeah, it did.
But then he joined Dortmund.
Yeah.
Well, so I'd potentially say Marquinhos instead of Van Dijk. No,
yes.
They can't even do that. But then Ramos didn't do anything.
See, I don't understand why Ramos is in it.
I don't. To be honest, I don't think Trent should be in it. I don't think Van Dijk should be in it, and I don't think Ramos should be in it. But based off the shortlist, I can't justify not having Trent in there. But I can justify if you want my opinion, Kimpembe and Marquinhos should go in.
Yeah, and I completely agree because Van Dijk, he won the league and he was an integral part of that team. But they got knocked out of the Champions League near enough the first door.
Yeah.
Didn't win the FA Cup, didn't win the League Cup.
Yeah. They're going off name now. I mean, Team of the Year's been doing this for ages. Been going off name. I remember like 3-4 years in a row, the centre backs was Piqué, Ramos, Marcelo, and Dani Alves.
Oh yeah,
it was the same every season.
Yeah,
and that's all it is. They're like, oh, Van Dijk's a great player. Yeah, but he hasn't won anything. You're overlooking his.
But then again, all awards do that. Because in my eyes, the person who should have won it was the year when Modric won the Ballon d'Or. It shouldn't have been Modric. It should have been Griezmann who won it.
Yeah.
Because Griezmann won the Europa League with Atletico, won the World Cup with France. He played incredible in that year, and I think he should have easily won that.
I think it's just because people didn't expect it of Modric. And Croatia, if Croatia didn't make the group stages, if they didn't get out of the group stages of the World Cup, yeah, he wouldn't have got it.
Yeah, it was just a bit. Yeah, so our team, Neuer in net.
Yeah.
Davis left back.
Yeah.
Kimpembe and Marquinhos centre backs. Mm-hmm. Trent right back.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the midfield.
Right. So the three that got it were obviously, if I can find them, Joshua Kimmich, De Bruyne, and Fernandes.
Yes.
So the players instead, there was Aouar, there was Fekir, Gomez from Atalanta, Gossens from Atalanta, Rafael Guerreiro, Jordan Henderson, Mateo Kovacic, don't know why he's in there, Toni Kroos, Luis Alberto, Marino, Parejo, Renato Sanchez, Marcel Sabitzer, Heung-min Son, Stindl, and Thiago.
Right.
There's a lot in there. So if we go through maybe each one, so you've got Houssem Aouar. I mean, I don't watch Ligue 1. I know Arsenal are interested in him.
He's a good player, but I don't put him in the same bracket as the player. I don't put him in the same bracket the players that have actually got it, that are in already.
The only ones, yeah, but I think they got it right with the three they chose.
Yeah, the only one you could probably take out would be De Bruyne. Because, De Bruyne, I think he's a good player, but I don't put him in the same bracket the players that have actually got it, that are in already. The only one you could probably take out would be De Bruyne. Yeah, the only one you could probably take out would be De Bruyne. De Bruyne.
Yeah, I was going to say I would rather debate De Bruyne being in there than Kimmich.
Because...
And then I would debate Toni Kroos, maybe.
I wouldn't debate Toni Kroos. He's a good
Young
player, don't get me wrong. And he's a good player, but it's the same as Ramos. You know, he didn't win anything. But then again, neither did De Bruyne.
No one else.
Neither did De Bruyne and Fernandes, though.
You could say Thiago, maybe, because he was part of the Bayern team.
Yeah, that's the only other one I would have said instead of De Bruyne.
Yeah. So potentially Thiago. But then I don't think Thiago's been better than De Bruyne.
No.
I just think that he's more of a comparison than
and everyone else in the list.
I would disregard every other one.
The only one I'd say was Son, but then I wouldn't put him. I wouldn't say he's a midfielder.
No, that's why I was going to say, shouldn't he be in attackers? But I still don't think he can.
So the midfield is staying as it is.
Yeah.
Fernandes, De Bruyne, Kimmich.
Jesus, you ready for these strikers?
So we'll move on to the strikers. So at the moment, in the actual team of the year, it's Cristiano Ronaldo, Lewandowski, and Kylian Mbappe.
And this is who you could have had. You could have had Andre Silva at Eintracht Frankfurt, Ben Yedder at Monaco, Benzema, Caputo, Di Maria, Dybala, Grealish, Haaland, Immobile, Ings, Insigne, Felix, Hosselu, Harry Kane. I saw your face when you said Danny Ings. Insigne, Felix, Hosselu, Harry Kane, Kramaric, Romelu Lukaku, Sadio Mane, Lionel Messi, Neymar, Mohamed Salah, Sterling, Suarez, and Vardy.
That is some lineup.
That's a lot of players, yeah.
Well, we've said it before. Lewandowski's staying in.
Yeah, but I would debate the other two.
Ronaldo, I'm sorry. Ronaldo's got to go, blood. He has to go.
He has to go, blood. He has to go, blood.
I would probably put. See.
You cannot put Messi.
See, I don't know. That's the thing. It's like
you sounded like you're about to cry. Then I don't know.
It's one of them. It's like, do you take into account he's didn't win anything, got humiliated by Bayern.
That's true.
Tried to force himself out of Barcelona near enough.
True.
Do you take all this into account?
Well, I was going to give you my three and you give me yours.
Go on.
So personally, my three is Lewandowski, Haaland, and Immobile.
That's a good one.
Because I think Haaland is stupid ridiculous. He's had one of the best seasons of, like, the last sort of 18 months. He's gone from nobody to one of the best young strikers in the world.
Oh, 100%, 100%.
Immobile, you look at him, he was at Dortmund as well. He didn't do really anything. And then he's been at Lazio, he's a captain and he's scoring bags of goals. And he's so underrated.
See, I agree with Haaland. Who else is there?
So I'll ignore some of the ones that you probably won't pick. But there's Di Maria, Dybala, Grealish, João Felix, Harry Kane, Lukaku, Mane, Messi, Neymar, Salah, Sterling, Suarez.
There's some great options there, but I don't know. It's a bit of a that one. It's just a bit
really
of
a handful you can pick.
See, I'd even be tempted. I might even be tempted to change the formation, and then I don't know. I don't know because it's like there's only so many times you can only accommodate one more player, and there's been quite a few. Even in the attackers, there's been some good players.
Yeah.
So I don't know. At the end of the day, I might. I might just shoe in.
Let me just look up Immobile quickly. So I want to see how many goals he scored this season in comparison.
I'd probably shoe in either To be honest, yeah, I'd either leave Mbappe or I'd have Neymar in. I think.
Right, let me have a look. So this season, so what we're saying from
It was so it'd be including last season, like the end of last season.
Right, 2020 stats. Let's have a look. So I'll just tell you what he did last season as well. So this season, Immobile has played 22 games, 18 goals.
Wow.
And then, how do I see last season? Yeah, so that's just this season. And then last season, so that's 18 and 21. No, 18 and 22.
Yeah.
And then last season, he did 39 and 44.
So
18 plus 39, that's 58.
18 plus 39, did you say?
Yeah.
57.
50, good counting by me. 57 in
57
66
goals.
games.
6 games. So that's 56 divided by 57 times.
And then I'll do Ronaldo.
So that's near enough 1.1 goal a game. That can't be right.
You divide it the other way around.
Yeah.
It's less than a goal a game.
0.8 goals a game.
Right, and then Ronaldo, this season, he scored 20 goals in 21 games.
Right. 21 goals.
So he scored 2 more goals this season than Immobile in 1 less game, which is obviously better.
What about last season?
See, he wasn't as good last season. 37 and 46. Immobile scored more in less games than him last season.
It's 37 plus, how many did you say? 21 for this season?
20 this season, I think. Well, no, 20 and 21.
Right, so 20 goals. Right, so he scored. So he scored the same amount of goals as Immobile. That can't be right.
He scored the same amount.
Yeah. How many did you say he scored in the last season?
Ronaldo scored 57 goals last season, this season, and so is Immobile.
57. Right, I was going to say.
So is Immobile. So they've scored the same amount of goals, but Ronaldo's played more games.
Yeah.
So by that logic,
yeah, I'd probably put. As I said, I'd either put Neymar or Mbappe in. I think
I stick with I think Lewandowski, Haaland, and Immobile have been the outstanding players.
Fine. Let us know what you think down below in the comments.
Let us know in the comments.
Exactly. Let us know in the comments.
Like, follow us on everything. Instagram, TikTok. I'll be hitting and
exactly. You know it already. It's like it's second nature.
Don't forget Worcester Wednesdays, Footy Fridays.
So let's just quick run through our team. Wow, run through our team. We got Neuer in net.
Yeah, I think I should be playing net. To be fair, I think I should go and go.
I wish. Left back Alphonso Davies. 2 centre backs. Marquinhos, Thiago Silva.
Kimpembe.
Right back Alexander Arnold.
You said Thiago Silva. You meant Kimpembe.
I meant that one. I'll put Kimpembe. The midfield: Bruno Fernandes, Kevin De Bruyne, and Joshua Kimmich. And then we're undecided on the front 3, but the 2 we're setting on Haaland and Lewandowski. We're just unsure about the third one. I think either Neymar or Mbappe. You think Immobile, but I'd happily take Immobile. So what we'll do, we'll put Immobile in.
Sweet. Nice.
I think that's going to wrap it up for this week. Wow.
I'm trying to get that 2018 views. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I can tell.
Just put like gone wrong or dab, or gone sexual in the title.
Yeah, I will. Don't you worry, I will. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, comment down below what other topics you want us to talk about. Comment what your team of the year is. We will at some point be having an Instagram. We will at some point be having a Twitter. We will at some point be having a TikTok. So we'll let you know how they go on.
If
videos
as well,
out
just
every
a
week.
quick thing. If you want to put your Saudi League team of the year, Saudi League team of the year in the description, I don't even.
You've just lost it now.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, so the videos will be coming out every week. Subscribe for more. Like I said, comment down below topics you want us to talk about. Comment down below your team of the year.
Aaron will put all my socials just to.
I will. So both our socials will be down below. Like I said, we'll be having an Instagram, we're having a TikTok, we're having a Twitter eventually. Anything else you want to
add? Don't get into vans.
That's your life lesson for today. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.